We're recording.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Hiya. So, this episode, I've even forgotten what it was called. What was it called?
Rubbish. It was the first Doctor Who episode in a while, ever since, I think, the return of Doctor Mysterio, that made me go, wow, that was a waste of my time.
After the last two episodes, obviously, it wasn't going to fulfill the big shoes, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
If I was to describe this episode in any way, shape or form, I would say soap. The concept, and I do mean soapy, because the concept of it is so utterly brilliant. There's so much going on, but ultimately it just leaves you a bit deflated and with a big mess that doesn't really, you just want to wash it all off.
It felt very kind of classic, based Under Siege kind of story, which I kind of liked. It felt very much to me like it would have fitted the 4-part classic structure perfectly. And it felt like there was so much going on that it wasn't quite enough to make it a 2-parter, but I feel like it was still quite a lot packed in that it probably could have been better being drawn out to be an hour long rather than 50 minutes. Some bits felt a little bit kind of breakneck and very fast-paced, which is I enjoyed. But probably a little bit of room for character development they could have done.
If you made that a 4-part, they would have dragged it in even more to try and fit 4 parts and still wouldn't.
Oh no, I don't mean 4 parts by today's. I mean the classic, 25 minutes each.
That still wouldn't work.
There are probably one too many characters, one too many dire situations to get out of. For the most part, it was quite good. They seem to have learned lessons from the season before as to how to do a Doctor Who episode, but that's not to say there weren't problems.
I don't know, it's so weird. The episode, I just was sitting there the whole time going, so what's going to be the thing that kicks this off? How's it going to start? And that was the point where I realised at the end of the episode that it hadn't started at all.
There were definitely things in it that I would say needed work, but there were also some strong concepts. If I was going to play script Doctor, I would say you had 2 quite interesting plot twists. Yeah. One being the fact that it wasn't a real vacation centre and that it was in a sort of dome in a ruined planet, and the other being that planet was Earth. We're okay to put spoilers, right? That planet was Earth.
It did a lot of telling rather than showing, and I didn't care for any of the characters.
The old lady and Benny. Hopefully, Benny from Crossroads hasn't aged well, but this guy what was happening there?
I'm just happy that one of them gets captured and taken away by an apex predator, and the other one, why is she even in the vehicle? I would have had her there just to push out as a distraction if we needed to run away.
Benny! 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 It just goes on and on and on like that. I did like the old couple. I did like that he was going to propose to her. It's very sweet. But again, it's just another thread that was started and wasn't ended. And then we have the tragedy of Laura Fraser.
Kane, was it? Kane?
Kane, yeah, I think it was Kane.
She is just so, it's almost like she's dehumanised herself. The emotional intelligence just isn't there. But I actually believe that she wanted to give it to her daughter.
But she did get that arc. She was like, there's a knock that lasted 5 minutes by her talking to her daughter by going, oh, it's my daughter, and then shooting things with her daughter.
Yeah.
But we didn't get then she's safe because she's solved that situation with her daughter and humanised herself again.
Whereas if they'd had more time, you could say, okay, well, here's her daughter who's like a very emotional person to the point of being unstable, and then there's her who just can't show emotions at all. And is there actually any kind of a salvageable relationship that could have been had?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting to explore.
Some characters could have done a bit more development.
There's an issue of having a 3 companion structure, which I think was better. Well, I enjoy it, but some characters get sidelined. I liked Ryan a lot in this story, but I felt like Yaz didn't really get anything to do.
Yeah, but that's a common problem we had. At least with Skyfall, we got a bit more to do, which was nice.
the makeup on the Squirrel Woman was so bad. I was wondering whether she was actually meant to be like a human who was dressed as a furry, and that was her thing, because it just looked in no way like an actual alien. And I'm genuinely not sure about that, whether that was meant to be an alien species with a really bad makeup job or a human being with a fursona. No idea.
And also then there's the, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing, but my kid is an absolute genius, but I don't want to admit it, and I take all the credit until the very last minute.
James Buckley, I felt he was only in it just because of the name, like, oh, it's James Buckley from In-Betweeners. Whereas he didn't really have a lot to do in it.
When they were out in the desolated earth where nothing could survive, were we meant to see the trees in the background because they were actual trees? It was like, that's a tree, I can see a tree, and not one of the drag trees, an actual tree. And it was like, really?
But I really did enjoy it. I think it's a very worthwhile, very topical message. I think we need to see more of. And people who think that Doctor Who was never political are just deluded, because it always was. It literally always was. The first story ever is about trying to introduce democracy to cavemen. The second story is about, literal piece of metal bins exterminating people who aren't like them on a planet devastated by nuclear war. They do the salute.
Because of the topical era to it, it's not had a third Doctor sort of era to it.
Yeah, I felt, very pertwee like.
Because a lot of people go, oh, Doctor Who tends too political.
It was always
Have you seen the third Doctor?
Yes, exactly. It was very.
The third Doctor was full on politics, pretty much.
The bit that annoyed me almost the most would have been the Doctor's speech. It's about time Jodie, as the Doctor, got some really big, angry speeches, and I think she did it really well. But it was ladled in with a trowel, and I think it could have been done so much better in other places in a little less obvious kind of, I can't believe I'm saying this, preachy kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
But genuinely, I'm not sitting here going, which I was for the last season, so good.
But I'm liking the theme so far of of destroyed homes, destroyed planets, because Gallifrey's been destroyed. Now we know that Earth is ruined in the future as well. So I'm wondering, what's the theme going on here? And also I like how the companions are slowly getting a bit more suspicious of the Doctor.
I would rewatch it. Like, I didn't have a hatred for it. I just kind of thought it was a shame that some good stuff was.
I wouldn't say I hate it. I feel disappointed that, again, like you're saying, it wasn't executed in that way that it could be. And as much as I liked the message at the end, it was too not fitting towards what had just happened over the past episodes in that context.
I would describe it as poor. Lots of potential, lots of stuff going on, some amazing actors, some not so amazing actors. It could have been great, and it wasn't. And I found myself at the end just wondering what I'd watched.
It was all lots of really, really good ideas, like a soap. Except for it all winds up in this tiny little space with too much going on, and you're just left with this huge mess that you just want to wash away. How's that? Whatever you do, remember to subscribe to Glasgow Who YouTube channel. One of those. Just subscribe to something, preferably us, and give us a like as well, because we're just cute. Was that what I was supposed to say?